Hello subs, Brody here. Today I'm going to be retiring my old telly. Now I got this old beastie when flat screens were first coming out and it cost an absolute fortune. But nowadays it's rubbish. It's so laggy. So I might as well scrap it, see what's got to go. I'll keep that cable, I'll still use those. So that'll get the chop. So first off comes the base. Check with the magnet. Yep, that's a nice bit of aluminium there. Now that's a really rich copper board. Don't know what it's like for gold. Don't really gold for gold, but there's a lot of copper on that. And each one of those little white things there, that's got 3 coils of copper in it, so I should certainly have that. I'm trying to carefully get it off without breaking it. A couple of bits on that maybe. Can't see much there though. And there's not much need to go further in on these things, because behind that is the mercury tubes, and you don't want to go messing with them. That's one tiny piece of copper. But that's what micro scrapping's about. You take the small bits. Now this is a nice board for me. Got these big old aluminium heat sinks. Definitely have those. Nice thick coil there. And these things, these have got copper in as well. As long as you give them a good old crunch, all that lot breaks off. Then all you have to do is spend hours ripping through the tape. There we go. The softest little ginger pubic hair you can find. If you can remove the middle on those, then you can unthread them. If you can't remove the middle, you have to cut each one. It's a real pain. Good bit of weight there, actually. This is quite thick wire, actually, which is nice. Yeah, just checking, make sure it's not steel covered with copper. Get that in a lot of cables. Well, I don't know what's under here, but I'm going to certainly have a look. That's a crystal thing. For some reason we saved them, I can't remember why now, but there's not much else. It's a lot easier just using a screwdriver there. And once you pick off that tape, you can actually extract the copper wire. Ooh, let's have a weigh in. That's from the plug. Well, I wouldn't say these were really worth scrapping, but I enjoy it. That's what counts. And its terminals are all go in the terminal pot. That's getting quite heavy now. And I'm keeping all these electrolytic capacitors as well, because they're They're aluminium. And over the wall, over the big wall, Mr. Fox. Bit of a wet day, but he don't care. Now, this is what I'm going to be casting today. This is Cura. Just slicing it so I can print it out on the 3D printer. It's actually a bottle opener. And thank you, the loyal guy from Thingiverse. Right, let's load the old beastie up. That's a really cold morning, windy, it's really horrible. Camera doesn't do justice to how black that sky was. I find it unbelievable that a sky can hold that much water and not actually be raining. Unbelievable. It just blew over. Can't believe it. as I said, it's a really windy day. And that little nick on my knuckle there, that just wouldn't stop bleeding. You would have thought by now I would actually remember to drill a couple of holes in the pattern. Well, let's have another go then. I seem to be happy with that one.
Fuck's sake, it's upside down.
But it was upside down. So I've redone it. And this is attempt number 3, and I actually took the time to drill some holes in the skull and put a bit of micropore around my finger. It's lifting a bit on the edges there, but I don't tend to worry about that too much. I can just file the excess stuff off. And I really must get round to printing myself a decent runner out. This always lifts up sand on the side. And I think this sand is much too wet. It even looks wet. Level it up. I've learnt that lesson. I don't know why I did that. I'm sure there was a reason. But that didn't take a lot of metal. So I'm not overly confident with this. And it hasn't popped up out the other side either. It's time to stick that kettle on. Let's have a look then. Oh. I think that's actually worked. Took me 3 attempts to get the moulding done. Cool, and that was thin as well. But the sky itself looks pretty good to me. Can you see that big old crack in that crucible starting at the top there? It's not done too bad though. I've had that since I've started and I'm on nearly 30 videos and there's a hell of a lot of pores that you haven't seen. And it looks like I'm nearly out of gas. It's a waste of good vodka, I know, but hey. Trouble is, the light was shining off that shiny surface, so you couldn't see what was happening. But that's come out pretty good. Got a couple of big blemishes on the front there. And a couple of bits where the holes were, of course. That's not a big problem. First off, get these rough edges sorted. That is just taking forever. It's just a lot easier and quicker to use the file. I wasn't over happy with the sander. It was old paper, but didn't seem to be doing much. Well, it's coming up okay. Time for a bit of wet and dry. I think this is about 600 grit, something like that. And finally a little bit of polish. And there you go. One finished bottle opener. All I need now is a couple of bottles to try and open with it.